Every teenager goes through their moody, I'm too cool for my family, maybe emo phase in their lives. You probably don't want to relive those memories, but your favorite stick figure teenager went through a different phase, a phase of self discovery, a phase of embracing oneself. Turns out I cry, like really easily, which is ironic since it's basically the opposite of a moody teenager phase. As I can recall, the phase started when I watched a little show called Gravity Falls, which I made a whole video, and by the way, you should totally watch it. You don't need to know Gravity Falls to understand the story. All you need to know is that the ending was really sad. And this show brought me to my knees. I didn't know a show could be this good. Before this, the kind of shows I watched were like Boss Baby Back in Business. Looking back on that, the show was just kinda, absolute hot garbage. Boss Baby was hot garbage, by the way, not Gravity Falls, to clarify. Gravity Falls was the polar opposite of hot garbage. It was like cold, brand new merchandise. So I cried in the ending, and rightfully so, I might add. The show was beautifully written. So I decided I didn't want to go through another emotional roller coaster and decided to watch this show called Amphibia. Biggest mistake of my life. The ending was so sad, even sadder than Gravity Falls. I don't even want to talk about it, mostly because I want the viewers to watch the show firsthand instead of listening to a random dude on the internet spoiler for you. Won't you grant a crying man's wish? And then the Owl House nearly made me cry. Okay, enough is enough. How about I start watching anime instead? There possibly can't be an anime that can make me cry. So I watched Assassination Classroom. I'm hoping at least one of you in the audience saw the show because you all know what's coming. I'm somehow cry even more than Amphibia. And then I watched Cricket from Bluey, and then I cried again. At this point, I was thinking, man, all these shows I'm watching must be really well written to make somebody as emotionless as me cry. I mean, all these shows made me cry. There must be something up with every single one of these shows. Wait, maybe it's not the shows. And maybe it's me. Turns out I was the issue all along, and there was nothing wrong with you. It was all me. Who would have thunk? And then I watched the movie If. And what you assumed happened, happened. I had an idea I believed to be pretty accurate. It was that shows can make you cry because you can get emotionally connected with the characters, but a movie can't because the connection can't be formed in just 2 hours. But that idea was just thrown out of the window. Defenestrated, if you will. The part I cried in wasn't even that sad. I was just watching the movie and I realized streaks of water were being excreted through my eyes. But there was one exception to my idea. This exception card could be pulled by any director to get the whole audience crying, except for the emotionless teenagers, of course. This was using animals. Cute little animals like dogs or cats, or wombats, and their Minecraft looking knob poop. I'm talking about Hachiko. One time I was doing my homework and I got distracted, like I always do. I wanted to check out that movie about that Japanese dog I saw a trailer for like 4 years ago. Finding the wiki about Hachiko wasn't hard, but reading it was because my eyes kept tearing up. I was crying while reading a Wikipedia page. That can't be possible. I was crying while reading. Reading! Like what the thing that nerds do. The lame nerds. I was discovering so much about myself. So then I watched the trailer for the movie and cried even more. My parents are probably doing the visible confusion meme right now because I'm crying while doing my biology homework. I have not watched the movie yet because the wiki page and the trailer is enough to break me. Currently, I am watching an anime called Spy X Family, and if anything happens to any of the characters, I am actually gonna go through the 5 stages of grief. There was this one scene where a vision of one of the main characters being dead in the future, and I nearly cried there. I knew he was gonna survive. We were in the middle of the first season to a show with a second and a movie and a confirmed 3rd season. He's obviously not dying here. I still nearly cried though. I learned this is just how I am. I just want to point out, I don't want people thinking that crying is a bad thing. I think crying is a good thing. It's better to release all that sadness rather than penting it all up and screaming in your bed before vaping again or whatever normal teenagers do. I think it is actual bullpoop that people shouldn't cry, especially men. Does crying show vulnerability? I think crying as a man shows confidence in society nowadays because all other men are pussies and afraid to show their emotions. This doesn't apply to only men either. All the 19 billion genders have the right to cry. I learned that I wasn't as cold-hearted as I thought. Turns out my heart is very open. The only way to make it even more open is through open heart surgery. Anyways, that's all I have to say. So, seamless transition into the end card. Thank you, Past Weeby, for the transition. I didn't go too deep into Spy Family, but it's my newest over-obsession. I'm almost finished, so if anyone has any recommendations for a show like Spy Family, please put it in the comments. I want a wholesome show with some action, anime, or otherwise. Also, if anyone else cried in any of the shows I mentioned, please comment about your experience too. I want to feel not alone. I'd love to go into more detail about all the shows here because I glossed over most of them. Okay, I'm gonna go watch more Spy Family now.